Silence is the story of two Jesuit priests in the 1600s from Portugal who are on a mission in Japan to find their old mentor and teacher, Father Ferreira, played by Liam Neeson. And it's a double mission. One is to find their mentor, and the other is to keep the flame of Christianity burning and alight in this country that has outlawed Christianity.
I think of Grupe very much as St. Peter, who's like full of doubt and doesn't hide it at all, and is very openly kind of complaining and tired, and which I love. But when he gets tested, he rises to the occasion, where it might be the opposite for Andrew's character, where he starts very committed to, they're both very committed, but their faith is very much challenged in a way where they start putting themselves within this bigger picture than they can't see their role in it anymore, or how useless it is.
This faith in our story with these two Jesuits, played by Andrew and Adam, is they're put through the treadmill of doubt and fear and privations of hunger and destitution and cold and always asking is are you there, you know? And that can go as deep as we as the audience want to see it as, want to experience it. You know, it is the question we all ask, you know, no matter if you're a believer in a religious faith or not, you know. Why are we here?
Rodriguez is somebody who, in a sense, gives up his faith to gain his faith, and that's the paradox. And when we were getting ready to make the picture, I realized that I was trying to create something that had been with me for many years since I was a teenager and when I first wanted to make movies. And as I said earlier, I'd studied for the priesthood, didn't make it. Realized early on that it wasn't my calling. It's certainly a vocation, but it wasn't mine. It was the calling of someone I had admired, a priest, a neighborhood priest who taught us a lot. I wanted to be like him, but that's not the reason to be a priest. And I had this other calling, I guess, and it was making movies. And I had an idea to make a picture about a priest, actually, many years ago. A priest who had the calling, but who needed to take that extra step of getting past his ego and his spiritual pride, because it's the parishioners that have to come first, always. And I realized that this was the picture I was making, in a sense, while I was making it, really, while I was shooting it. I mean, I touched on this before, Mean Streets and certain other pictures, but, you know, here I was 60 years later dealing with the theme that has been with me since I was so young.
It's great working with Martin Scorsese because I grew up watching his movies, and I think he's the tip of the pyramid as far as directors alive today. So you kind of go in, you can't help but go in with like a preconceived idea of that, of what it's going to be like. I don't know what that is now in retrospect after having worked with him, but there's so much fear and, you know, reverence, and you can't help but be intimidated by it. But he's very good at, you know, demystifying himself and making it about, you know, focusing on the details.
He's like holding you in the palm of his hand, you know, and all you have to do is act, you know. And it's beautiful and it's very loving and also intimidating, as I said earlier. Because you want to get it right for him, you know?
Even though you can feel it's a Martin Scorsese film, it feels like a new type of Martin Scorsese film. It feels like he's transcended himself. And he's made something that transcends his own name in some way. There's something deeply mysterious about it. Not unlike how I felt watching Kundun. There was something deeply devotional, reverent, and multi-layered about the way he's told this story.